Alright, what's going on, folks? Welcome on over to another video, and in today's tutorial we're going to be talking about how you can make millions with influencer marketing, how you can leverage influencers to skyrocket your e-commerce brand. Alright, now in this video I'm going to be breaking down what the true definition of an influencer is, how you can distinguish between the different kinds of influencers, and how you can go ahead and leverage our influencer marketing strategy. Now, one thing I'll go ahead and say is that influencer marketing is not only the future, but it is the now, especially with the rising cost of CPMs and a lot of different things going on with the traditional marketing channels such as Facebook ads and the whole iOS update. It's a perfect time for you to start experimenting and leveraging influencers. All right. Now, I'm also going to go ahead and share with you how you can get our exact influencer marketing scripts, so you can go ahead and be able to reach out to influencers, how you can engage with them, and how you can go ahead and turn them from just influencers to brand fanatics. Now, the first thing I want to go ahead and do is, again, define what an influencer is. Now, at the core level of the definition is just a person or thing that influences another. So really anybody can be an influencer. Even if it's just somebody that has friends and family following them, they can still be an influencer because technically they have influence over their friends and their family. Now, another way to think about influencer marketing is as simple as word of mouth advertising. All right, just a fancier way of putting it. So the first tip that I want to share with you is that influence is really the transmission of trust and credibility. Okay, one of the best ways that my mentor Dan Fleischman put it is that everybody thinks they have the cutest baby, but it's not true unless somebody else says so. Okay, so when you're running the traditional type of paid ads, let's say on Facebook, on Google, on Instagram, YouTube, what you're doing is you're saying, hey, we have the cutest baby in the world. But when you're leveraging influencer marketing, what's happening there is other people are saying, hey, this is one of the cutest babies in the world. They're transmitting their trust and credibility over to you and your brand. Now, the second thing you want to keep in mind is that there's really two ways that you can go about building your influencer marketing strategy. You can either go towards the transactional route, right, where you're paying influencers X amount of dollars to post about your brand and your products, or the relationship route. Now, personally, we're going all the way with the relationship route. Why? Because relationships is just much more long-term than a immediate transaction. Hey, I pay you X amount, you post X amount of photos or stories or whatever it is. While again, a relationship can last a lifetime. Third thing, influencers cannot polish a turd. All right, quality products and relatable brands are at the core of any successful marketing strategy. So what does that mean? That means that even if you did decide to go towards a transactional route, if an influencer does not genuinely like or love your brand, products, and mission, they'll charge you hundreds to thousands of dollars, or even worse, they might not even do it, regardless of how much you pay them, because they want to protect the trust and credibility they have with their audience. I mean, after all, right, these influencers are working day in and day out to continuously build their trust and credibility with their audience, and they're not about to sacrifice it just because you're paying them $100 or a couple $100. So again, if you want to learn how to start and scale your own e-commerce micro brand that has quality products, that has a relatable brand, you can go ahead and check out the Micro-Brand Accelerator right below. But let's assume that you've already created a relatable brand with quality products. Well, what we're gonna go ahead and do right now is I'm gonna introduce you to the care package method, which works absolute wonders, all right? And it's actually gonna save you a lot of money. And on top of that, it's gonna help you build lifelong relationships. Now, what we go ahead and do is we just share our products and brand experience with influencers in hopes of triggering the reciprocity bias. Now, what is the reciprocity bias? If you've ever read Influence by Robert Cialdini, one of the biggest biases for influencing others is, again, the reciprocity bias. And really, it's as simple as humans are hardwired to believe that we are obligated to repay what other people have provided us, whether that's buying a birthday gift, returning a political favor, or giving samples of product at a store. A favor can trigger a feeling of indebtedness. So, I mean, in simple terms, it's really when somebody does you a favor, you automatically feel like you have to return that favor, right? If somebody invites you to their birthday party, well, you're gonna feel like you have to invite them to your birthday party. Another great way to look at it is like the food court at the mall, right? When they're handing out those samples, I mean, sure, it's free, but how many times have you taken one of those samples and just because they gave you a free sample, now you're inclined to go ahead and order from that specific place, assuming obviously that it's good food that you've went ahead and sampled. Now, the last thing that you want to really focus on is that there's going to be two types of influencers. Okay, there's niche influencers, which are specific to your micro market, and then there's going to be the broad influencers who really just have influence to a broader demographic, to the broader market that you're in. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of our brands, for example, Modern Garden. Now for this brand here, we've built over a 200 million follower influencer network over the past year and a half. And as you can see here, this is in our tagged photos, right? We have niche specific influencers, which are the home decor type, right? And then we have a bit more of the broader type of influencers that are really just influencers with, you know, let's say a couple 100,000 followers, a couple million followers. Now, Maggie Ketting, for example, right here, she went ahead and tagged us on one of her latest posts. And as you can see, she's not much of an interior decor influencer. She's really just a lifestyle influencer. Again, with 112K followers, she went ahead and just tagged us on, you know, one of her pictures as our products are in the background. So again, there's those two types that you want to focus on, and really there's a unique approach to both of them. Now, besides the two types of influencers, there's also levels to influencers, right? There's nano influencers that have less than 25K followers. You got the macro influencers anywhere from 25K to 100K, and then you got the micro, 100K to 250K, and then we consider anything over 250K followers as major influencers. But as I noted on the bottom there, most niche influencers will be nano and macro since they're very specific. And then again, that depends on what type of market or micro market you're in. And last but not least, another thing to note here is we base the size of the care packages on the level or the size of the influencer, right? So how much we send to a nano influencer is gonna vary than what we send to a major influencer, for example. So none of this is very, you know, cut and paste. It is you do want to be dynamic in terms of how you treat each specific influencer and the type of relationship that you want to build. And another thing to note is, well, you might be asking, Samir, how do you build your pipeline? How do you find these influencers? And quite honestly, there's about 3 different ways that we like to focus on. You first got the cold outreach. Instagram DMs is definitely our priority, but emails work just as well. Affiliate programs on your website, right? There's a couple different apps that you can check out. And last but not least, most people don't really consider this, but customers can also be influencers for you as well, right? They've already bought your products. They already like, trust, and respect your brand and your products. So why not turn them into influencers as well? So if you want to go ahead and learn more about our influencer marketing strategy, I actually uploaded a complete influencer marketing strategy guide and step-by-step tutorial inside the Micro-Brand Accelerator, which includes not only our tracking sheets, all the different types of scripts that we use for cold outreach, and that includes the Instagram DM walkthroughs, that includes the email scripts as well, and also the 3 methods to build your pipeline. Okay, so go ahead and check out the Micro-Brand Accelerator right below, and let me know if you've ever played around with influencer marketing, if you ever try to get any shout outs for your products, your brand, and how that went. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.